Everyone, this is Benita Moyers, the Happy Tech Teacher, and today I'm going to continue the series that I've started on Google Slides, and we're going to focus just today on how to insert different kinds of charts into your presentation. So this can come in handy whether you are creating a professional presentation yourself, or whether as a teacher you're creating one to share in a data meeting or a PLC meeting, or if you're trying to teach some of your students how to insert these types of things into their presentations. So I started today with just a blank presentation, and I'm going to go up here to where it says Insert, and I'm going to scroll down to where it says Chart. And when I hover over it, you're going to see this sidebar open up with some choices. I have bar, column, line, pie, and then I have a choice of from Sheets. Now, this one would require that you have already created a Google Sheets and that you have inserted a chart already into that document. So if you have not played around with Sheets, or you don't really know how to do that, or your students don't know how to do that, this is probably the last option that you want to show them. The first four are actually templates that you can go in and edit to create the chart easily using what they've already provided for you. So let's start with the bar. And this is going to insert just this template into the slides presentation. And you're going to notice if you right click, just like whenever we have looked into the media, inserting media and inserting videos, that there is a format option. And so you're going to have the opportunity here to change the size, to rotate it. You're going to also have the option of positioning it, whether it's in the center or an X and Y axis. You can also recolor these. So if you don't like the blue, you can go over here and change the colors. So I'm going to pick, my classroom has blues and greens, so I'm going to pick just a green today. And you can adjust, so you can change the transparency of the chart. You can change the brightness, the contrast. Then you can have the drop shadow. I love to add drop shadow to things. It makes it kind of pop up off the screen. And if you go into this one, you can change the color of the drop shadow. So I'm going to actually make this kind of a bright color just so you can see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to start with distance because that's going to allow you to see it better. So the drop shadow kind of defaults to at the bottom, but you can adjust the transparency by sliding this one to darker or lighter, however much that you want. And then the angle allows you to change whether it's on the side, the bottom, the top, the left, and that kind of thing. I usually tend to like mine on like one of the sides and the bottom, but this is strictly a preference. But then there's a blur radius. This is where you can make it softer looking, or it can be much more sharp edged like that. And then, like I said, you can change the color as well, and you can change the distance. So sometimes I like to fool with the color first and then adjust my distance at the very end. Then you can also have a reflection. So I'm going to shrink this just a little bit. So if I turn on the reflection, you're going to see it looks like the reflection almost as if it was on the edge of the water. So that is another option that you can have for the chart. Now I'm going to make this big again, and you can move these around just like you would media. But you're going to notice something a little bit different up in the corner of this time. You're going to see one of the link icons here, and you're going to see the down arrow. If I click on this, I can actually unlink this from the chart that it has, or from the Google Sheets that it has created, or I can link it to something else. But then I can also open the source. So this is where you're going to go in and actually edit the data for this. So it's going to open up a Google Sheets document for you. It's going to take just a minute. It will open up, and they will put the chart in here for you, the same chart that's on the Google Slides. You're going to see all this information over here. It is creating this in your Google Drive. So if you have the slides presentation in a certain folder, then this Sheets should go in that folder as well. It takes just a few minutes for it to kind of work and to come online for you to be able to edit it. But once you do, you can edit all the data in here, and it will update it in the Google Slides when you return to the slides in just a few minutes. So for right now, they have Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, Team 4. So in my classroom, I usually have a blue group and a green group, yellow group, and a red group. So I'm going to change these. I'm not really going to change the numbers today just because you can see that in just a minute. But right now I'm just going to change the titles. So now you're going to see that this has updated it down here for me right here. I will go ahead and just change one of these. Let's just change this to a really low number so you can see the change right here in the chart. Now, if I go back to my presentation, you're going to see another option has popped up. Now we have an update button. If I click the update button, you're going to see that this has now updated in the Google Slides presentation for you. So this is a quick template, just a quick way for students and you to create some really fast data according to what you need if you don't have a lot of experience with Google Sheets. So let's take a look at one of the other options now. So I'm going to insert an empty slide. I'm going to go back to insert and chart, and let's look at the column option now. It's going to work exactly the same. It will open up a Google Sheet document for you. You can go over here and open the source and edit it just like you did the first slide. But this time they are going vertically. So now let's look at the third option, which is a line. And this is going to have 2 points of data based on just what they have started. But you can go in and edit this one as well. You can go in and change the color by formatting. There's also format options right here that you can look at. And then the last one is the pie. So if I go in here to pie, then it's going to insert this and I can go in and change that data as well. So I'm going to open this one up just to show you another change. And I'm going to close down this old one. So now whenever you go in here, right now it says Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, 4, just like it did the first time. But when the students go in and edit this time, it will change that chart. And I'm going to actually, instead of changing the names, if it's still working, instead of changing the names, I'm going to add a couple of lines so that you can see how it would add another piece to that chart. So I'm going to say Team 5 and Team. Still trying to catch up with me a little bit. So sometimes we have to have some patience, and I'm not being very patient with it right now. Team 5, Team 6. And then I'm going to delete this one that got down here at the bottom. And then I'm going to add some data here. And you're going to see that the chart that they had in here, I'm going to actually have to move it. So I just left click on it and hold that down. So you see how my hand is made a fist. And I'm going to move that over so that I can have plenty of space. And I'm just going to insert some information in here. Let's see. So as you see, this changed my chart right here. So now if I go back, I'm going to have that update option again. I click update, and now it has changed this information for me as well. So the last option is going in and inserting from sheets. So what this does is it's going to go into whatever sheets you have already created. So I created just a sample sheet earlier for you all. And when you click on this, it's going to show you whatever charts you already have in those sheets. So you have to have something already in there for this to work. And you can click down here and make sure that it's linked to the spreadsheet so that the data is automatically updated. And you click on whichever one that you want to insert and then click import. And it's going to put that into that page. And I should have started a second one, but I didn't. So now you can go in and change this data just as you did all the others. And that information will be updated in this presentation for you as well. So those are just a few really fast ways to insert some charts and graphs and to help students learn how to manipulate the data and to present that in a way that is professional looking but not very difficult. Even some of the younger students can do this, but this also gives you a great opportunity to create some charts and graphs and things for the students and their parents to see whenever you have parent conferences or student conferences and you want them to see what their scores look like, their data look like. I've done this with fluency scores before. I've done this with sight words. And sometimes, especially with the little students, they really need to see that visual for them to truly understand their growth. So this is a great way for you to make something very quick and easy for them to see. For example, I might use the line graph for them to see their growth in the number of words that they've learned or the number of letters in my case with kindergarten. And they love to see that going up and getting higher and higher. And this is a very, very fast and easy way for you to do that. And it's all built in right here into Google Slides. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Google Slides is a powerful and wonderful tool for schools and for students and for teachers. There is so much that you can do with it. Just don't be afraid to get in there and try it. And I hope that you have a happy day playing around with this and practicing and creating some charts and things for your classroom.